Hi guys, so last week Rishi Sunak could have breathed a sigh of relief as his Rwanda bill passed the second reading in the House of Commons. No Tory MP voted against it and the number of abstentions was pretty limited. Of course, what the Prime Minister did was tell both wings of his party that he would do as they wished. The One Nation Conservatives, the moderate Tories, were told that the government had no plan to go any further and that they would not apply parts of the European Convention on Human Rights, but at the same time not break international law, whatever that means. To the right of his party, which includes about a dozen different groups, he appears to have promised to look again at the Rwanda deal and make changes that would suit them. Someone is going to be disappointed. Here, Andrea Jenkyns, who is in one of those right-wing factions, believes her side is being lied to and that this will have dire consequences for the Prime Minister. Have a listen.
I think that the right of the party are giving Rishi the chance to try and amend the bill, but the Rwanda bill, which I don't think he will. So I think he's just kicking the can down the road. But I think that the right of the party be ready to vote against it. I know that I certainly am when it comes back in January. So I do predict that we will have a new leader before the next election.
Yeah. So isn't it interesting, Andrea, over on the right of the party? So, you know, I've been in Westminster for 25 years and we always boast about what a broad church the Conservative Party is and how everybody's entitled to their opinion. But what I see now are various parties within the party. I mean, the five groups...
We've got a bunch of Lib Dems, haven't we?
Yeah, well, we have. We've got Lib Dem MPs who are in the One Nation group and we've got, you know, Reform MPs on the right of the party. So,
yes.
So how do you think those five... Why do we have five groupings on the right, Andrea? Why aren't we just one? Why aren't you just one group? Why is it five groups?
I agree with you. I mean, it's five groups probably because there's, well, I mean, it's, if you look at the five different factions, it's, you know, some is about growth, some is about Brexit. So there's obviously the Northern Research Group about the North, but we do come together on key matters such as Brexit, such as the likes of taxation as well, and also on the Rwanda bill and immigration. Now, what I think we need to do, Nadine, I do think it's time for a new leader. Look, we've got nothing to lose. I heard your guest earlier say about it would be ludicrous to have a new leader now. Well, I don't think it will be. We've got nothing to lose. We need to bite the bullet. Yes, it means a general election will come sooner, but you know, if they can have 3 months bedding in. But as you said as well, Nadine, there's no big personalities like Boris. I mean, I've tweeted twice this week, bring back Boris, especially when we looked at the anniversary of the 2019 election. And look, Nigel Farage didn't get any seats, as we know, then. And I just think we need to bite the bullet. We need a new leader. I'd love to see Boris come back, but if he doesn't come back, I think the right need to unite behind one person.
My goodness, no, not Boris Johnson. Are you insane? Yes, you're Andrea Jenkyns, of course you are. Bring back Boris Johnson. Okay, let's just think about this for a moment. Why is Boris Johnson no longer an MP? Because he ran away from his responsibilities. He was about to face a challenge. He was about to face a recall, and he left. He ran away. He was afraid to face a recall. He was afraid to face a by-election. So he ran away. The coward. He wouldn't face the music. So he ran away. Now, why would you want somebody like that in power again? A coward. A charlatan. But of course, these people are forgetful. They completely ignore this reality. Boris Johnson resigned. Boris Johnson was not kicked out. They tried to sell it as, well, it was the civil service or the Blob, or it was members of his own party or the Labour Party, whatever. Everyone, the media were the ones who pushed Boris out. No, Boris Johnson resigned because he was a coward. He didn't want to face a by-election. A by-election that he was likely to lose. Now, for the Conservatives, fortunate for them, they actually won the by-election. Well, they held on to the seat. Very slim majority, was it 400 or something, because of ULEZ. But if Boris Johnson had run, there was a good chance that he would have lost the seat. So he ran away. Now, how could Boris Johnson be back as Prime Minister? Well, he'd have to be put in a safe seat. Who's going to give up a safe seat? And there are very few safe seats at the moment. Suella Braverman, could she leave her safe seat to give it up to Boris Johnson? I don't think she'd be willing to do that. She wants to be a future leader, and if she stands down, she's not going to be the future leader. So somebody would have to step aside, maybe be given a seat in the House of Lords in order for Boris Johnson to take over. But who is going to send somebody to the House of Lords? Rishi Sunak to help Boris Johnson? I don't see that happening. Now, back to the main point here that she also mentioned about the Rwanda deal, the Rwanda bill. It's coming back for the third reading, and it's likely that the headbangers, these factions on the right of the Conservative Party, will be extremely angry because Rishi Sunak is not going to modify it to suit them. So they want the UK to abandon the European Convention on Human Rights, and Rishi Sunak is not going to do that. He said that Rwanda themselves has said that if he goes any further, they will pull the plug. And of course, if he does try to exit the European Convention on Human Rights, then he'll face a rebellion on the other side. The One Nation Conservatives has said that if he tries to break international law, they will pull the plug. So it's looking more and more likely that he lied to the far right, the right wing within his Conservative Party, and those factions, just in order to get them over a line, to get the bill over the line and say, look, I achieved this. But as I said before, it's all tactical. There's no long-term strategy here. It's like keep the headbangers happy for today, and then try to keep the modders happy tomorrow, and then deal with the day after when the day after arrives. But this is insane, this idea of trying to bring back Boris Johnson. He's no longer an MP. He'd have to run in a campaign. It's not guaranteed that he would win the seat because he's not all that popular anymore. He's popular with crazy people within the Conservative Party, but he's not popular with the public. People, some Conservatives may have short memories, but I think a lot of people don't. People remember Partygate. They remember the scandals. They remember his shenanigans. He resigned. He resigned in disgrace. The public are not willing to welcome him back. And welcome him back for what? Also, I don't believe that Boris Johnson would really want to be Prime Minister again for 3 months or 6 months to take over from Rishi Sunak. Now, there may be a bit of revenge involved, but there's a very good chance, very, very good chance that he would end up losing. And I don't think Boris Johnson wants to take over that poison chalice. So, I'm not going to say it's impossible that Boris Johnson is going to come back because we've been in crazier territory, but it's highly unlikely. And it's more likely that Rishi Sunak throws the right wing under a bus. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.